Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Standing water or high humidity, nasty odors, or dangerous mold? Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS.
Well, it's Saturday morning and it's 7 o'clock, and there's no need to panic. We have no big major weather issues here. This is James, and I'm live on a couple of platforms. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube this morning. And this video will accomplish several purposes. Number one, I'll give you a good briefing on what's going to happen here over the next 10 days. This will be a typical weather briefing. Number two, we're making some YouTube changes, and this is to be sure that everything's kind of working on that side. For those that use YouTube, and for those that might be watching this, typically this is the channel where you see WeatherBrains, our weekly podcast we record on Monday night. WeatherBrains is moving to its own YouTube channel. It's needed to do that for years, and I finally had a week off. As you can tell, I've not shaved here in a while. This is the Jimmy Buffett look. But WeatherBrains moves to its own YouTube channel. This is the James Spann channel. And so my weather content will be posted here. So if you're looking for WeatherBrains, it's on its own channel, and we'll post a lot of links and everything, so you know how to find that. But just be aware of that. And also, it's just to be sure the logistics are working here. It's kind of a test. So having said all that, we are going to talk about weather today. So let's get right into it. This is the current upper air look. And by the way, I wanted to mention this. For those of you that are local and use the Weather Extreme video every day, this is going to be the Weather Extreme video. We're shifting the format a little bit on the Weather Extreme video. Typically, it's edited and produced that I do, which is great. But from here on out, we're going to record it live like this. And I'll be honest with you, that the main reason for that change is to save some time. Time is a precious commodity. And for me, it's a struggle how to cram everything into 24 hours in a day. And so from here on out, this will be the Weather Extreme video. But it's not going to be called that. It's going to be called the Daily Weather Briefing. We'll still do one in the morning. We'll still do one in the afternoon. The morning live will be launched probably about 5:30 weekdays. That's kind of early, I know, but the replay is always there. You can watch this whenever. Most people watch it later. And then the afternoon version will be at about 3 o'clock weekdays. And again, it will be live, but it will be there forever so you can see it. And it's the same content, just when you're doing it live, I don't know, it's more personable or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll come unhinged, no telling here. So having said that, let's give you a weather briefing. Let's actually go for some content here. This is the current upper air look across the country. And again, same old story. It's summertime. We have that large-scale upper high. This is at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. But underneath that, there's a little easterly wave, a little trough that was over Georgia yesterday. And that triggered a lot of rain over Georgia yesterday, some big storms. And that is drifting to the west. That's what easterly waves do. And that will probably bring an increase in the number of scattered showers and storms to Alabama later today. We're starting off this day in the 70s, although Haleyville's got 64. It looks a little anomalous there, but most spots are in the 70s. Around the region, most locations are in the 70s. And again, we're going to be in the 90s today. It's going to be hot. I mean, it is that time of the year. Here's a look at the current heat index situation. And understand, I'm not a big fan of these maps. For example, let's say you're in Columbus, Mississippi, and you're driving to Birmingham today. So Columbus, Mississippi, no heat advisory. But then you drive across the state line, you're in Pickens County and Tuscaloosa County, and there's a heat advisory. And then you get to Birmingham, Jefferson County, there's no heat advisory. Trust me, the whole route will be hot. Everybody's going to be hot and muggy today. But that's a Weather Service criteria thing. The orange, that's where the heat index would hit 105. But again, just understand it's going to be hot everywhere again today. But the good news, the heat's going to back off a good bit next week. And there's the situation around the country. All the orange areas, those are heat indices. Back into parts of Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth, Tulsa, and a few scattered heat indices, heat advisories, I should say, back in parts of the Northwest, including Portland and Seattle. Here's the severe weather outlook for today. We've got a marginal risk from near Amarillo, Texas to Chicago, Illinois. Out across the heartland, this is tomorrow, a marginal risk for parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and some of the adjacent states. And day 3, which is Monday. We have no severe weather expected across the country, but we're solidly in the green. That means we'll have the pop-up afternoon storms. And understand, they could be strong, maybe even severe. The main issue with summer storms, it's lightning and the potential for wet microbursts, these localized areas of wind damage. This is the rain for the next 7 days. And the good news, the numbers are coming up across Alabama. I think everybody would say we need some rain. Rain amounts for many communities between 1 and 2 inches between now and early July. But understand, I talk about this all the time, these maps are really hard to draw in summer because of the uneven distribution of the rain. The storms are random and they pop up in the afternoon, and you might get an inch, your neighbor gets nothing in a single day. But we do expect to see an increase in the number of these things around really each day for the next 7 days, which is good. So off in the tropics, we have this early season wave that came off the coast of Africa. This is out in the central Atlantic now. You see the yellow X on that map. That's the wave, and the Hurricane Center giving this a 20% chance of developing. This is the 48-hour outlook, 20% chance within 48 hours. And this is the 5-day outlook, and the Hurricane Center giving it now a medium chance, a 60% chance of becoming either a depression or storm over the next 5 days. And this will likely cut across the Windward Islands next week and then into the Caribbean. This is very low latitude. And also, it's interesting to note the Hurricane Center, they've got the Gulf, the Western Gulf in that yellow area for potential for maybe a little homegrown action. Odds of that happening are pretty low. We're not seeing a lot of modeling signal on that. So we'll focus on Invest 94, which is the system in the central Atlantic. This is coming off the ATCF set, and most of the members take it into Central America. They keep this thing near the coast of South America, very low latitude. Exact same thing on the European ensemble. Most of the members take it into Central America with a strong ridge north of the system. And this is the European, the probabilistic outlook off the ensembles. And again, you can see most members take this into either Central America, maybe the Yucatan, well south of the United States. So I'd say the odds are fairly high that the ridge holds and this moves into Central America late next week. But understand, we don't know that yet. It's just too early to call, just simply something to watch at this point. So model fans, here we go. This is the GFS. This is the 06Z run, valid this afternoon at 4. And really the higher heights are a little west of here, the ridge shifting to the west. And again, there's a little surface trough, and it's kind of hard to pick out on this synoptic scale map, but a little trough that was over Georgia yesterday, and that will be in Alabama today. So we're expecting to see a number of showers and storms around today. I can't promise rain for everybody. It doesn't work that way. Y'all know that. But we'll have a number of those around this afternoon, this evening, tonight. I'd say most of them between noon and midnight. And there could be a few spots getting a pretty good little storm today. So be aware of that. But away from the storms, highs back in the 90s today. Tomorrow, that wave moves on to the west. Storms probably fewer in number. We're expecting low 90s tomorrow as the heat backs off. And then Monday, I think we'll see upper 80s in here. That'll be like a cool wave, won't it? Next week, highs most days, I'd say 86 to 92. And notice a surface front is located near the Tennessee state line. That will not have enough southward push to get in here. It's going to stall out, meaning the chance of afternoon storms will be pretty good next week. This is day 4, which is Tuesday. And again, it's not going to rain everywhere, but any given spot has a pretty good chance of seeing some decent rain at times next week. This is Wednesday, pretty much the same thing. Moisture pooled overhead. This is Thursday of next week, no change. Highs mostly upper 80s. Friday, same story. So really a good break from the really intense heat we've had, where highs drop back maybe below average a little bit next week, and we'll see a much better chance of showers and storms. Let's go to a week from today. This is Saturday, July 2nd, as we start that long holiday weekend. And again, the heights are down, nothing like the intense high we have had in recent days. And again, for that 4th of July weekend, we're going to have these pop-up storms about. And that's just a way of life in the summer. If you're new here, we basically have these most every day. And we don't know in advance exactly when and where they form. They're just out there. Let's go out 10 days. 4th of July, Monday the 4th. Core of the upper high is off to the west, and it's the same story. Classic 4th of July weather. Hot, muggy. I'd say highs in the low 90s and the chance of scattered afternoon and evening storms. This is rain for Birmingham. This is coming off the the European ensemble. Good to see the numbers coming up here. The mean there between 2 and 3 inches over the next 10 days. And yeah, buddy, heat levels coming down. This is from the National Blend of Models, and you can see highs in the upper 80s all of next week. And understand, it's going to be humid as could be. It will be very humid next week, but then we see the numbers trending back up toward that 4th of July weekend. And the latest guidance from CPC, this is the 8 to 14-day outlook. This is for July 2nd through July 8th. Temperatures go back to being above average if this forecast verifies. So that's it for this edition. Ooh, that's kind of strange. Let me take that double box off. But you get the idea. It's the same content, just kind of in a different presentation, and it's basically to save time, because when I'm done with this sucker, it's there. It's on YouTube, and it's on the face bag, and I don't have to do anything, and it allows me to do more things I need to do. And the morning shift is pretty hectic here. I'm doing this, of course. I'm writing the blog discussion. I do weather on 24 radio stations as far away as Texas, Missouri, and Illinois. I'm live on Good Morning Alabama, which is our ABC 3340 morning program. I'm live on that program, and it's a wild morning shift. And many mornings, I need to get out of here at the minute I get off the television side at 6:30 to go to a school that might be 2 hours away or 3. And again, this will just save a little time. So that's the reasoning behind this. And I won't go into all this rigmarole next time we do it. So beginning Monday, we'll be live and we'll be live on Facebook every morning. We've not done that before. But we'll do this about 5:30 in the morning, probably, and the times might shift a little bit as I kind of get into this. And then at the TV station, about 3 o'clock weekday afternoons. And anytime it's needed, at random times when things are happening. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great weekend. I got to shave. If I didn't do television, I would have one of these beards. It wouldn't look good. Like some guys have good-looking beards. Mine would not be good-looking, but I'm just not a shaver guy. When you got nothing up here, anywhere it sprouts out, that's a